coming on every Wednesday just to kind of talk about some things. And what I wanted to really touch on is being able to overall embrace your authenticity and honor your intuition, which means you have to start trusting yourself and you have to be there for yourself. And how we start doing that is you allowing yourself to be able to have the tools to know on when you're actually following through with what you need and when it's more so of just listening to other people and what they need. And so, but I know you guys a lot of times know me here, but if you don't know who I am, Samantha, a trauma and toxic relationship recovery therapist and coach, just kind of overall be able to help you to break free from toxic relationships, to embrace you, your authentic self, and get into healthy relationships. So, what I wanted to talk about today as we're kind of getting ready for our event, and know that when it comes to our event, on June 10th, of retreat, we are changing up a bit where we're no longer going to have gold access because I wanted to be able to have an intimate setting with just us having a full day with each other. So know that what we have available for only for this week is the buddy pass. And with the buddy pass, what you can do is you're going to be able to share with a friend to be able to, you know, have both be able to purchase a ticket at a lower price to be able to overall be there for just be there for each other and to be able to kind of join us on this event because I'm super excited because I'll be able to pour into you guys in a smaller group setting. We're already going to have a 5 of us, that are going to be there. And so we are looking for just, more people to join us and the people who really want to just dive deep more into themselves and what they want and just being able to invest in themselves, right? Because when it comes to just having a day for yourself, it's so needed. So really, let's dive deep into when it comes to embracing your authenticity. So let me let you know, because I saw this from Haley and I saw this on a post before, and I really want to take my touch on it. And so I want to know also what you guys think when it comes to this post, right? And so what this person was saying is that a lot of times what happens is that us as like people pleaser recovery, which is me, right? I know that a lot of times I have been so focused on what the other person needs that I forget about myself. And so what this individual was saying was that what happens is that we're so worried about what someone else is thinking that we forget about ourselves. So, for example, instead of saying something like, and I wrote my notes down when it comes to this so I can make sure I can really just unpack with you guys. So, instead of saying something as, does this person able to meet my needs, right? I'm having honor my boundaries. Is this person meet my needs and for this relationship? What we need to do when it comes to exploring our needs, like I mentioned before, is that you're going to be able to figure out, okay, you're not able to meet my needs. So does this relationship still work for me? Right? That's going to be the question. But what we tend to do, right, what this person mentioned was that we tend to do is ask, if if this person's not able to meet my needs, how do I stop having needs? Right? And I want you to know that you do not have to stop doing that. You're able to fully have needs when it comes to your relationships. And I will even talk from my personal experience when it came to my dating experience. If I'm someone that likes to, say, go out or try different places, what if I'm a person to kind of be like, okay, how do I stop wanting to go out as much? Or how do I stop wanting to get as much affection? Right? That's betraying myself, right? That's betraying you. So I really want you to think about, like, you don't ever have to squash what you need in a relationship or for you in any way, whether friendships or whatever it is. Like if you have a friendship that constantly wants to be able to talk or talking over you, know that you don't have to be a part of that. You can be able to fully be in the relationships that really fit you and that really see you. Right? So number 2, for an example, when we go into relationships, and I wrote these notes down, so that's why I'm looking down, but a lot of times what we have to realize is that we have to think about what boundaries to set to protect people from hurtful behavior, right? What boundaries do I need to set to protect myself from hurtful behavior when it comes to other people, whether friendships, parents, or relationships? But what we tend to do, right, as people pleaser recovery, and think about if you do this and let me know in the comments if you do. What we tend to do is we say, how can I stop being sensitive to other people's hurtful behavior? And I can use an own example as well. For example, if someone says something that I find offensive and they're like, oh, well, you can take a joke. or you're sensitive or you're emotional. Understand that what we try to do is like, oh man, well, how do I not be so sensitive to what this person is saying, versus understanding that it's okay. If it's not something that you find funny, it's okay to not be wrapped up into what someone says and thinking that, how do I not be so sensitive? It's okay to have an emotion, right? Which we talk about if you've been with me in the one-on-one or a membership, know that it is okay to have an emotion. You don't have to explain yourself for it. If you find that you don't find it funny, you don't find it funny, right? You don't have to think that you're being sensitive to their hurtful behavior. You just call it out. You say, I don't like this, or this is not, doesn't work for me, you saying this to me, or I don't find that funny, and seeing how they respond, and really seeing how they respond, because how they respond is going to give you some really good information here. It's going to be able to let you know the fact that, you know, if they are someone that's empathetic, or there's someone that's like, okay, I'm sorry the fact that I said this to you, so this is how I'm going to be able to fix it. You want to be able to know those things when it comes to your relationships. Right? And lastly, when we talk about when it comes to embracing your authentic self and just acknowledging your intuition, I really want you to listen to necessarily how you feel when it comes to these relationships, whether narcissistic, toxic, when it comes to parents, when it comes to romantically, like really be able to listen to yourself when it comes to this. And the third one she mentioned was, and what we need to do is we need to set the boundary and just honor the fact, okay, does this person like me for who I am? Right? Like really thinking about, does this person like me genuinely for who I am? But as people pleasers, right? And a lot of times, and I know in recovery, we tend to do this as well. So there's no, offense either way when it comes to that. What we tend to do is, how can I shape shift to get them to like me? How many times have we done this? And let me know in the comments. Heart it up if you find this, helpful for you. But how many times have we allowed ourselves to shape shift, right? I'm not liking this, or pretending you're liking this. Or if I'm someone that, for example, if I'm someone that does not enjoy watching sports, pretending like I do is trying to shape shift. I don't know what's going on. I don't know when it comes to basketball or how the plays go, football. It's just not my thing. So I think even if it is yours, great. But I don't, what the thing is, I don't want you to feel like you have to ever have to shape shift for someone to like you. You're able to be fully who you are and know that it's perfectly okay and amazing just for you being who you are. So I want to know what resonates with you when I talk about this, right? What resonates with you when I'm talking about these different needs, and seeing if there's anything that you find yourself doing that I mentioned before, right? Are you following through what your needs are and what you want to say and honoring your boundaries? Or is it more about someone else liking you in the process and trying to shape shift or to change in who you are, knowing that you don't have to do that? If you want to kind of dive deep more into this, know that we do have our buddy pass when it comes to you just be able to be just you and a friend, or you and someone else, to be able to come and join us on the retreat. It's going to be personal. It's going to be personalized. It's going to be just like us just really tapping into our authentic selves, right? When I mentioned embracing like the self-acceptance part, it's embracing your authentic self. And I want to see you there.